Hello everyone and welcome back. I am Mark Thompson with Watermark Data and you are watching Alteryx tutorials. This session is going to be weekly challenge number 263 and we are going to be doing something a bit different this week. We're going out of order and we're doing 263 because it is an application. I had somebody request I do a tutorial about applications and there aren't many of them in the beginner group. And this is one of them. And so we're going to give this a shot this week. What we've got is, I don't know if you remember when you were a kid, you used to have that plastic toy. It was the magic 8-ball. And then you would ask it a question and shake it up, turn it over, and it would give you an answer. Well, we're going to be doing the exact same thing, but we're going to be doing an electronic version of it. Let's go ahead and jump on in. The first thing that we're going to start with is we're going to simply create a very simple process flow. We've got two text input boxes, one of them that has effectively a placeholder. Question, will I be rich? What that question is doesn't really matter. It's a placeholder. That's all it's doing. That's really key. The second one is just a list of IDs and answers. And I came up with these on my own. You can come up with yours. They're completely arbitrary and fictitious. There's no rules about them. Yes, no, maybe. After our text input box here, what we're doing is we're throwing on a formula tool. And the formula tool, we're using a random integer. A random integer works from 0 to whatever number you put in the parentheses. In this case, it's 9. We're using that because I've got 10 answers over here. And so 0 to 9, when I go +1, turns into 1 through 10. And it gives us a random integer. And if you go ahead and you look at the output, 6, and I can run this, and it comes out 5, and it comes out 3, and it comes out 4. It's always the same question because that's the placeholder, but the answer ID changes. Next, we put a join tool. And we join on answer ID. That number that was changing just a minute ago, and we connect it to these answer IDs over here. So what happens is, effectively by having a random number here, you come up with a random answer here. And when you look at the join tool, we don't need any of these other things. We've got an ID and we've got an answer. And this is what comes out here. So, does a bear live in the woods? Yes. Nah, maybe. Who knows? You get the idea. Now let's take and turn this very simple process flow into an app. And I put these in containers just because I didn't want them to be a distraction. So I'll go ahead and grab them out of that container now and close up the container and stick it off over here out of the way. And we'll come back to our process flow. To create an analytics app, we pull in tools that bring in information from the user. This is the interface menu, and we've got a text input box here, this text input box. Now, it's important to understand, here's a blank canvas. When I come over here and look at the workflow, it says standard workflow. The moment I take and I grab that text box and I drag it onto the canvas, let's go back over here and take a look at what the workflow, it has automatically changed it into an analytic app. All right, going back to our process flow, these turn this into an app. This text input box, here is the question that the end user will see. Ask Magic Answer Machine a yes or no question. The rest of these we're going to leave blank. We're going to keep this as a very simple app today. And then here you have a tool that automatically connects between this and the tool that you're updating. This is called the action tool. It's right there. You can drag that onto the canvas if you want. But when you drag this on and you connect the two, it will actually automatically populate that action tool between them. This is what updates this cell, this will I be rich. That's why it's just a placeholder. That's why it really doesn't matter too much what you put in there. This tool is going to say, update that cell. What is it? Row 1, column 1, and it's showing what's in there at the moment, which is will I be rich, and it's going to update whatever the information that comes from this text input right there. How do we get this whole thing to run as an actual application? That's this button over here, and it says run as an analytic app. When I click this, I'll get a dialog box that shows up right there. Question. Here's our question that we saw over here. Ask Magic Answer Machine a yes or no question. So I put something in here. Can I live to 150? Hit the finish, and it comes back only if you live to 200. Okay, that's a pretty funny response considering my question. That's how it works though, and if I hit it again, it's going to give me a different answer because it's a random selection. May the odds be ever in your favor. You get the idea. We close up the app right here. I am Mark Thompson. This is Watermark Data. You've been watching Alteryx tutorials. Please hit like, please hit share, please give us any comments you feel down below. Love to hear from you. Till next time.